I am Lise Klaverness and I'm the president of the Norwegian Football Federation, and we joined the Football for the Goals in July 2022. We joined right from the launch, and we were also asked to be a pilot, and so we are a very proud member of Football for the Goals. It's been a big part of our strategy up till now, so it's perfectly aligned. The stress we have is that it needs to be real all the time, that it really impacts ourselves also, and that we can bring value add to our clubs and really lean into the dilemmas. So to work with the SDGs in our everyday life as Football Federation and president is it's a perfect match. It's not easy, but it's still a perfect match. We're a very grassroots oriented federation. That football should be for all, it should be for boys and girls, it should be for everyone regardless of economy, and that we should try to leave the planet in a better stage than when we came to it. I'm not saying that we always do that, but it's very big part of what the members demand for us anyway. This is our strategy. Our vision is football for all, so it's perfectly aligned. Football is very special because it's so much more than a sport. It's a social, cultural phenomenon, bigger than religion, bigger than politics. I'm not saying it's more important, but it just reaches more people. And when you have a World Cup final being men or women, billions of people watch at the same time. You go to a refugee camp, everybody would know the word Messi. It's just a language that reaches everyone. So what's special is it's the reach, and also the reach to the emotions. So if you want to have change, you need to get to people's emotions, and sport, and especially football, does that. Is what they do. This is why it's so hard to be a president also, because it's people, the stakeholders are so passionate all the time, angry or sad or happy, or so it's an emotional reach. And I think to get to reach the climate goals without reaching people's hearts every day, it's impossible. But of course it's very complex also to use sport for that type of, because stakeholders are in their own bubbles also. So it's, of course, the dilemma is hard. We also pollute in football. We travel, we go to games, we use jerseys. But I think the whole society is in these dilemmas. And I don't think we will able to move the world in the space we need, or the pace we need, if we don't go to people's heart. And that's what makes football so unique compared to other sectors. I would say that the things we do that makes me most proud would be, first of all, the projects we've done now for over 20 years in different countries, where we educate female coaches on the ground in Africa, in Middle East, in Asia, also in Europe, and also focused on refugees, female refugees, to be the coaches. Also boys and girls at the camps, but where we empower women and mothers, sisters to be the managers. And it's also an empowerment of us back home. So it's not just like from here to here. No, it's an equal partnership. And it's if you come there, you would feel the pride. It's happening. It's easy if you do it properly, with football being the core. So that's the first thing. The second thing that makes me very proud is what we do with, we call it street football. It's a league for people, they're connected with the top leagues, and it's a league for people with addiction problems, early addiction problems, with alcohol, drug abuse, and it's working really well, and it's really the best initiative in Norway for rehabilitation after drug addiction. And where football again is the vehicle. We don't do anything else. It's a coach, it's the games, but then they go from feeling ashamed to be very proud of being a player of this and that club. And thirdly, I'm very proud that we are piloting the Football for the Goals initiative, that we have been able to gather all of Norwegian football in the same sustainability strategy: men, women, professional, grassroots. Also the media right holder is in it, and all organizations, the player organization, the women, the men, and coach. So of course that makes it also complex when you have all at the same. It's difficult to go to real action, but it's necessary, and we're small enough in Norway to do it, and egalitarian enough to do it, but it took a lot of work. So proud to be able to unite Norway to really go for the sustainability goals. I'm very excited about the fact that we will host the Women's Champions League final in 2026, and we will try to make it in the spirit of football for the goals. Try to make it where the sustainability at the forefront of everything we do, both PR-wise, because we think awareness is extremely important, but also to try to really walk the talk to make this arrangement. It's the biggest game for women in Europe that year. Then you go into the World Cup of men, and it will be men the rest of the summer. So also from an equality standpoint, I'm very excited about that. Secondly, I am excited about scaling up our project in different countries where we educate female coaches, female refugees to be manager, sports director. So we both want to expand it to go from only coaches to also sports directors and leaders, female sports directors and leaders, and also to several other countries, scale it up and bring also private funding into it. We've been very public oriented up till now. And thirdly, to really join forces with you and also the other members in Football for the Goals to see that if we can do the next step, maybe 1 year from now, when we have this week, sport can be even, really paint the city, because I think the potential is even greater. So excited to see where football will go the next few years also. Who am I to give message to people? We work every day with our own dilemmas, but for me, it's as a football president, I have all these agendas and ambitions to try to change for good, but it's very important to come from the core of football. That's my mandate. So if I should give anyone an advice, is to yes, you have ambitions to change, but go from your own mandate. Really analyze what's the power of the core of what I do. So that you're centered, and also from a governance standpoint, don't risk to go too far in any direction. So for me, it's to be really knowledgeable about my sport, to be really updated about my sport, to be really passionate about my sport, and then go from there to the UN, go from there to the government. That's the one thing, and the second thing is, of course, to travel and learn, to speak to other change makers, so that you feel that you're not alone. It's a lonely business sometimes to try to change. Sustain things is a bit easier, but to change is a friction business. It can be a bit lonely. We should speak to each other. And thirdly, sleep and train. That so that you have the energy to be in it for the long run, because it's a long game. If we want to do this change, it's not tomorrow. It's a marathon. It's 2100 year 2100. So sleep, train, and speak to other wise people.